Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports, kicking off Public Media M1's foreign language news hour. I'm Árpád Szőci with the latest from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Great that you can be with us. The Ukrainian captain of an international cruise ship who was involved in a fatal boat collision on the Danube River in Budapest has been taken back into custody. The captain of the Viking had been set free on his own recognizance by Hungarian authorities. Now, the public prosecutor's office has decided to take him back in again. They're concerned that he might try to skip town or try to influence witnesses. The public prosecutor's office has pressed charges against the captain, who's been identified only publicly by his first name and first initial of his last name, Yuri C. He's charged with mass manslaughter and failure to offer assistance at the scene. His ship had crashed into a much smaller sightseeing vessel in May, killing 26 South Korean tourists and 2 Hungarian crew members.
The court has made a decision based on the personal circumstances of the defendant and the risks of escaping or hiding. Although the investigations have ended, the trials have not yet started. The captain would have the opportunity to influence the witnesses because of his personal and professional relationships with them. That also justifies the arrest.
The Hungarian government's Securities Plus program has now broken sales records worth more than €9.1 billion. That's what Hungary's Minister of Finance announced. Mihai Varga said that, according to the latest information, most of the sales occurred in the Hungarian capital and also in the surrounding Pest County. However, sales were also brisk in eastern counties, such as in Híradó, Bihar, and Borsod-Abaúj, Zemplén. The minister pointed out that the goal is for sales in the next few years to reach well over 3 times that, about €33.5 billion. Those sales will also help Hungary pay down its foreign hard currency debt.
This process has an important role in the fact that during the previous years, servicing the national debt has decreased significantly in relation to Hungarian public finances. While in 2020, this was above 4% of the GDP, now it's 1.9%. This also shows that if our debt decreases, if we issue it under more favorable conditions, the expenses will also be smaller.
Settlements in Hungary with less than 5,000 inhabitants can continue to count on the government's very successful Rural Family Home Creation Program. It provides funds for inhabitants to refurbish their area and have more services established, like doctors' offices and bus routes. It was created to stem the decay happening in some of the villages.
In the program initiated at the end of February, settlements with less than 5,000 residents can have the residents themselves, as well as parishes, apply for subsidies available from the Rural Family Home Creation Program. Furthermore, programs exist for the modernization of roads and for measures improving the quality of life locally. The budget of the program was almost €460 million for this year. We are financing this exclusively from the national budget, the government commissioner said. Since spring, more than 97% of the 2,900 settlements entitled to take part handed in applications. More than 5,300 tenders were successful in the category of measures, improving local quality of life. This year and in the beginning of next year, almost 1,000 community venues, 190 medical offices, more than 100 accommodations for officials, and 870 nurseries will either be built or modernized. Moreover, several hundred buses serving farms and village trustees will be in operation. Thanks to sources never seen before in this sub-program for launching various developments in villages, it is a very impressive result that 86% of the applicants have won some kind of support, Árpád Szőci said. The Hungarian Village program continues where the kinds of support for 2020 will soon be published, which will also include new elements in addition to the old ones.
A list of approved foreign language schools are ready for Hungarian high school students to choose from, should they want to take advantage of a 2-week-long intensive language program paid for by the government. It's available to grade 9 and 11 pupils. The Minister of Human Resources says that the ministry chose those institutions that could deliver quality and fulfill the requirements demanded from the government. You can find the names of the schools, their courses, and locations on the internet. Each student also gets €2,000 in support money.
140,000 students in grades 9 and 11 are entitled to spend 2 weeks in a destination country where they can practice among native speakers and take part in very intensive language courses 20-25 hours per week. It is a highly complex task to manage all this. The government has provided a sum of approximately €274 million for this purpose.
Thousands of blind or visually impaired Hungarians are using the so-called Topsham, or Distant Eye app. Users call up a central number, and the operator on the line can then look through the phone's camera to try to solve the problem, such as finding out what the expiry date is on a package of food.
Topsham app, welcome. This individual, who is visually impaired, uses the Topsham application on his phone to ask for help. Zoltán regularly uses the app. He says he can complete his daily tasks much faster, and it makes his life easier. It is a great help in my everyday life when, because of not being able to see, I cannot get access to information. For example, knowing when a product expires, or distinguishing between similar products. If, for example, there are various flavors to choose from, Zoltán Benedek said. Topsham available. Using the app is very easy. Every button that is pressed is signaled by a sound. The phone calls are directed here to the Budapest-based office of the Hungarian Federation of the Blind and Partially Sighted. The line is available 24 hours a day. The ways in which we lend help are manyfold. The most essential things like water, electricity, and gas meter readings, and also with the Christmas holidays coming up, we have lots of seasonal calls. For example, choosing baking pan forms, Kinga Kovács said. The mobile phone app is increasingly popular. Several thousand blind or partially sighted individuals use it. The Ministry of Social Affairs and Social Inclusion said the Topsham app is the fourth online service which assists those living with disabilities. When computer science is put to use to help those with disabilities, we can achieve such benefits, and also ways to help that were impossible until now, Attila Fülöp said. The mobile phone app is unmatched in the world. They are planning an English variant as well.
A new flotilla of icebreakers has just been inaugurated. For the past 2 years, these ships have been refurbished with new cabins, anchors, and the latest technology used for icebreaking. Finally, now 22 are ready to be launched. Besides the sometimes mild winters, there are also very cold periods and snaps when rivers freeze over and can lead to serious flooding later on. Icebreakers could solve that.
These 40-year-old icebreakers have even been used several times on the Danube in neighboring countries. In 2017, this is how they broke the ice in Serbia, potentially halting a flood. Following an overhaul of the icebreakers, they will wait in the docks belonging to the Water Management Directorate. Ice abounds in more concentrated forms as we are in the Carpathian Basin, and it is difficult for this ice to flow out of the country. This is why we need such great movement on the water by ships, to keep the ice in motion so that we evade situations like in 1956, when an ice dam caused fatal accidents as well as a flood. István Lang said. 63 years ago, they tried to break the ice with pickaxes and with explosives, before the era of modern icebreaker ships. Their efforts did not work, which resulted in floods. Since then, a whole fleet of 20 icebreaker ships have been developed. These were the ships that were recently restored. On this day, we begin the first-degree standby protection stage, Imre Hoffman said. From now on until the middle of March, the icebreakers will be on standby if needed, on the Danube and Tisza rivers, as well as at Lake Balaton and beyond Hungary's borders.
Euphoria, Stories of a System Change from Hungary is the name of the latest exhibition at the Robert Capa Contemporary Photography Center in Budapest. It features photos and videos from the period when communism crumbled in the country. Some of those whose works are displayed will also be on hand to explain their experiences. The center is named after the world-renowned photographer Robert Capa, who was born in the Hungarian capital. The county of Veszprém's Lovas Village House features an exhibition on Christmas cards. The 50 cards are from Hungary, Austria, Sweden, as well as the former countries of Yugoslavia, East Germany, and West Germany. One section is also from artists with disabilities who drew with their mouths or feet. The display is on until the end of the year. And that's all for now. But don't forget, you can catch Hungary reports every night after the 11 p.m. Hungarian news and online as always. Please stick around now if you can for our German, Russian, and Chinese language news. Thanks very much for watching and viszontlátásra.